y'all. I know I look like shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear a peep from anybody. I know I also sound like shit. I've just been battling this cold for 5 days now. Aging is real. I'm now 44, and the cold doesn't just come and go like it used to when I was 14. All right. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I can't believe we're on episode 6 now. Episode 6. We have one of my very good friends, Alyce Chan, who I met on Zoom, and we've been doing a lot of shows together. We compliment each other so well. I call her my the sweet to my salty. She's amazing. She's MomCom NYC on Instagram. We have a show coming up in Chicago, February 2nd and 3rd. So get your tickets for that. Be prepared to come see us. Slay the stage is what the kids are saying nowadays. And of course, Joe and I talk a little bit about some things too on the podcast. And obviously I forgot what it was because I don't feel good. And that's why I'm not saying what the things are. But if you listen, you'll be surprised. Just like me. I'll be surprised. I love y'all so much. Thank you for spending time with me. And I promise you, the podcast is going to find its way and its legs. And we have some changes coming up in February. So keep listening. Thank you. I love you. Bye. Episode 6. Yeah, episode 6 of the Lintorious podcast. Hello, welcome. I have Joe here with me again. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Len.
Tell us about your The Price is Right microphone.
Yeah, this is what happens when your producer is has a full-time other job. I forgot the padding there.
Oh, that's what it's called?
I mean, wind filter. They're called a dead cat.
That's what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Not the one so much that look like this, but there's another one that's for outside when it's windy.
Interesting.
It has a little more layers to it. Call it a dead cat.
Oh, so there's really a purpose to this thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of sometimes I just thought it was for looks.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Well, good to have you back again.
Thank you.
You will see a lot of us.
Yes. Certainly a lot of you, given that it is your show.
A lot of me, yes.
Yep.
Did we press record this time?
Yes,
because
we
we
did.
forgot to press record for the first episode.
Yep. Got about 70% through it. Start it again.
Tell us give us an update on you. What's going on? Let's check in with Joe.
Well, it's winter break, which is the two glorious words for a teacher, other than summer break. Mm-hmm. Ended the semester by taking 125 students to Warner Brothers for the studio tour.
That was a field
they have
trip?
out here. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. It went well.
Okay.
You know, the kids seem to have enjoyed it. But, you know, kids are shitheads. And on the drive back, it was rush hour, and kids decided to throw apples out of the bus.
Did they really?
The driver had to pull over on the highway. Now, I thought he was being a little dramatic, only because it was rush hour, and we were hardly moving anyway.
So it's fine to throw apples.
Well, it's certainly not.
Okay.
But the pulling over,
yeah.
I'm trying to get there. It was 2 hours from Burbank back to South Central.
Right.
I was like, dude, doing this is going to add another 5 minutes to it. I'm trying to get off this goddamn bus with these goddamn kids.
It was traffic anyway. He could have just parked and got up and said whatever he needed to say. And sat back down.
No, I mostly kid. I understand that you can't throw shit out of buses, but apparently the students don't.
Did they stop? Did he straight?
Yeah,
okay.
we got it right. But otherwise, it was a great success, and it was a fun way to end the semester.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a nice reminder, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, that I've kind of learned through this job that not only teenagers, but nobody wants to do anything ever. Now, definitely
In life?
teenagers.
In
Yeah,
life? You mean
nobody
like
wants to do
work?
anything unless
Nothing?
they're choosing to do it. Like,
Right.
so the just the kind of cliches of like having to say everything 100,000 times a day is just part of the job of a teacher. Getting kids to actually do anything that you're asking them to do. But then I looked around like we have faculty meetings every Tuesday morning. None of us are doing anything either.
So the kids are just reflecting the teacher.
Sure.
No, but you're right because no, you're right.
Nobody wants to do
Yeah.
anything. Like that's why there's always this slight bit of relief when somebody cancels plans. And it's just like, oh, that would have been fun to go have dinner or go to the theater or whatever the hell, but I was already sitting. Now I don't have to go anywhere.
And I always give people a what do you call it? I always give them time, or what do you call it?
Yeah.
When you give them an out. I always give people an
Sure.
out
Yeah.
for plans. I'm like, are we still going? We don't have
Right.
to. I'm
Yep.
okay if we don't.
Okay, we don't.
And they're like, no, we're going.
Don't
I'm like,
have to.
"Ugh."
Okay, I guess we will. And then it's fun once you're there, of course, most of the time.
Yeah,
But there's something magical about not having to do anything.
exactly.
And anyway, so that's just, I was like, well, I can't really be that annoyed at my students when, I don't want to do anything and I'm at least getting paid. I mean, in meetings and stuff. Ultimately, we're adults, so we do them for the most part. But there's
Right.
still a lot of, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's just the same questions.
Dang.
So anyway.
You're right. You're right. Because you're right. Because even working with comics is kind of like that.
Right.
Send
Yeah.
a headshot. There's no
Ugh.
headshot. I know. I have to email you to follow up on you to send me a headshot. Like I don't understand. It's
Yeah.
just sending a headshot. But like you said, people don't want to do nothing.
No.
Or everyone acts like they're so busy that they forgot everything, and
Yes.
and it's like this is my thing. If I have to repeat to you as many times as I had to repeat to my son, I don't want to work with
There's
you.
an issue.
My son
Yeah.
is 7.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yes.
I don't even like repeating to him.
Yes. No,
He's 7.
absolutely. So, anyway,
But
that realization has been helpful.
Okay.
And ultimately, I had like 85% of my students turn in a final. So,
Oh,
I'm going to say
good.
that's good. The final was to write a screenplay, and none of these kids had ever written a script
they
before.
wrote a screenplay.
They each wrote a story that they developed. They outlined it. They wrote
a
a
short
script.
story, a short film.
A short film, yeah. 3 to 5 page script. Some kids wrote like 25 pages.
Wow.
And they ran with it. So, I was like, all right, cool. They
That's
still
fun.
did it.
But that's a fun thing
You would
to
think.
do. No,
For
Okay.
artistic people, it is.
I know, right?
Some of these people, I was like, please, how is, in God's name, is this not the easiest thing that you're being asked to do?
Right.
And yet, for some,
And yet, for some,
Anyway.
there will always be a complaint.
yes. So, it is summer.
Winter.
Winter.
He's thinking ahead.
Yes.
But no, it's winter break.
Yeah, winter break.
Ethan will be on winter break soon.
Yep.
I'm actually, it's cool. We get to just chill, hang out
Yeah.
for winter break.
Yep. Yep.
The new year. This podcast comes out. It is 2024, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
it is.
Already 2024.
It's true.
We
Yeah.
are already here.
It's happening.
And soon it's going to be like, it's 2025. Like but you know what? Cheers to everybody. Big things. Let's make 2024 a great year, whatever great year looks like for you.
Yes, definitely.
You know?
And, well, this is the second episode of
Mm-hmm.
2024 for us. It's a great episode because you
Yes.
had a fantastic interview, right?
Yes, we have Alyce Chan of MomCom NYC. You can find her on MomCom NYC on Instagram. Alyce is one of the best people to work with. Honestly, she's a very, very easy person to work with. She's funny. She's caring. She's willing to teach you. She's willing to help everybody. Like I don't even know. I don't have. She doesn't annoy me, and most people annoy me.
Hey, there you go. Top quality. And so she's found some success too, right?
She's found some success. She's
Yeah.
a very huge mom influencer on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. Just from being her authentic self.
great.
People relate to her, and she's been nice enough to let me kind of tag along with her and stuff. So, and learn from her. So, thank you, Alyce. You guys are going to enjoy the interview. Let us know what you think of it. We always love to hear all your comments and, of course, share it and subscribe it and
Yeah.
all the things.
All the
All
stuff.
the stuff.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. Come back next Sunday. Woohoo!
Hi, Alex. Welcome.
I love your blue
Welcome.
hair.
You like the blue hair?
Yeah, I
It's
think you
oh,
had pink last time too.
mm-mm.
But the
It was
blue,
only.
yeah, I like the blue because it really shows up on photos when you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
it really gives you that
yeah,
extra
yeah.
like it.
Alice is not only an influencer, content creator, mom, wife, motivational speaker. She's also good at marketing. So,
Motivational speaker. You can
what
do
doesn't your bio say motivational speaker?
it actually doesn't, Lynn.
It does.
But I but every time I speak, I do motivate people. So I just
You motivate people to follow you. Like you motivate. Alice has like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. So you motivate, you move people to hit that follow button. That's a big deal.
and some of those followers are real.
Okay, tell me about when the video that went viral and then you started getting all these followers and you became an influencer.
God, I became
No,
uh
really. Like tell me how did were you just like, what? Where are all these followers coming from?
no, it didn't happen overnight. I'm not like an overnight I didn't it was a lot of hard work and it was a very slow process. I've been at this since 2017. And
Oh.
first I used my Instagram to write out jokes because I wasn't doing stand up. I took
Mm,
a 3 year break because I was trying to be the perfect mom and stay home with my kids and not look
mm,
after myself and do any hobbies.
mm-hmm,
And so I was like, the magic the whole thing about stand-up comedy is like you want to get to the punchline with few words.
mm-hmm,
You put a lot of redundancy in. So what I was trying to do was let me write some jokes that will fit in a 1080 by 1080 pixel.
mm-hmm,
Only contain so many words. And that was my way of crafting jokes, my way of writing more efficiently. And I was
mm-hmm.
just doing, and my whole content shifted from pre-kids. I was talking about ex-boyfriends, cats, and mice living in New York City, right? Like
Ex-boyfriend and mice are the same thing.
yeah. And I
Okay, good.
my cat, which I dumped my boyfriend for.
Mm-hmm,
So obviously my content shifted and I had a hard grasp. I couldn't grasp that because I'm like, okay, I was still I was still doing mics, open mics, talking about my ex-boyfriend cats. I'm like, at the end of each mic, I was like, that's not me. But
mm,
talk about, well, duh, motherhood. And I'm like, but no one wants to hear about motherhood. No one wants a mom on stage. That was my whole thinking.
wow.
And so I just started on my Instagram because I was like, well, I'm not going to be doing any more open mics because no one wants to hear my mom material. So I started more parent material, more mom related material.
Mm-hmm,
One mom, I will give her a shout out. Her name is Snarky Breeders, and she had thousands of followers, like over
mm-hmm,
100,000. And she wrote me a DM. She said, "Hey, can I share this meme?" And it was something about like vacationing is now at grandma's house.
mm.
Something really simple. And she shared one of my memes, and that garnered more attention from other parent
Wow. Yeah.
creators who had thousands of followers. I was like at 120 followers. And then so people start sharing material. And I realized there was a community on Instagram that
Mm,
just did a lot of parent related content. So
mm,
that's how it started. And it just slowly built to up to 10,000. And then that's when Scary Mommy noticed me
mm.
content for them. And once Scary Mommy noticed me, they had over 2 million followers at
Yeah.
that around 2019. So it took a couple
Yeah.
years. And then I started creating content and then people started following me. And that's when I gained more traction.
Mm,
And other content creators start asking me to build their platforms like Moms Per Wow, Tiny Bean Kids. And that's how it kind of just started. And now I'm just doing videos, for my own platform
yeah.
because that's what I want to make. And I don't have to work within any parameters.
Mm-hmm.
Some are great and they'll take off and some really flunk, but I can't please everyone. And sometimes
No, you can't.
I just
Mhm.
do what I think is funny or what I think it's fun to create.
And it's funny. And the stuff you come up with is hilarious. I was like, how
Yeah.
did she come up with all this content and these sketches? And but you're like, oh, it's just everyday things. Like something happens. Like one day it took me 5 hours to get my son to bed, so I'm gonna make a sketch about how you have to prep them at 9 a.m. that bedtime's
So
coming.
relatable. That's so relatable. Like 98% of parents can relate to that. And
Yeah.
that's the thing is like just be honest and authentic.
Hmm.
The funny will come out. You know, if
Interesting.
you yourself will come out. If it feels like it's staged and contrived, it's not going to be funny. And sometimes I feel that. Sometimes I'll do a skit. I'm like, ooh, cringe. And I will not put that out. I have put some cringy material out and I'm like, I wonder if flunked. It's not funny. It was very funny.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so then you found this is why you're so supportive of other women and other comics and stuff, because the way you got started was somebody shared your meme or somebody
Yeah.
shared your joke, and then that's how you started gaining, you know, followings and stuff. And that no wonder you're so giving and generous with
But
your
also because
support.
I'm Canadian and it wasn't just on my Instagram, but also my live stand-up comedy. When my kid was about like 6 months old, I was a total wreck. And I was just like, oh yeah, I don't know if you can hear my kids playing piano now. This
No, I
is the
can't.
time they freaking practice. Every day they're not practicing. And I'm like, I need quiet. They
Yeah. Right, right, right. Of course. Of course.
good. Summing up. Okay, so I remember I kept passing by this bar and I
Hmm.
across the street. I was in Brooklyn and it was an all-female lineup,
Hmm.
which then to me, I was like, okay, it's not intimidating. It was a free show. So at 9 p.m., I told my husband, I'm like, I need a break. I'm just gonna go across the street. I went, amazing time, and it validated some feelings I had that I didn't think I had.
Mm.
And it was like, I got to get back into comedy. I miss.
Mm.
So I spoke to the host and producer. Her name is Kendra Cunningham, and now we're good friends.
Oh.
And I was like, hi, I used to do comedy. And oh, okay. When would you like to come back on? And I'm like,
Mm.
what? He's actually putting me on, and this is not an
Uh-huh.
open. So a month later, I came back, um, did ex-boyfriend stuff because I didn't have new material.
Uh-huh.
And I did like it a lot,
Mhm.
but I did feel like it wasn't my authentic self. And
Mm.
start producing my own shows because no one would put me on their shows because
Really?
they're like, you've been out of it for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
You're old.
Mhm.
You're a minority. You're
Mhm.
a woman and you're a mom. We don't want to hear stuff from you. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to produce my own show. I have my own demographic, which are parents.
Mm.
That's when I started Bring Your Own Baby comedy, where
Oh.
caregivers, moms, new dads could come with their newborns. They
Mhm.
eat their babies, change their babies, have their babies heckle the comics. And
Oh.
we would do a 45-minute pro show while babies were crawling around.
Mhm.
And they were happy because they got adult time. They didn't have
Mhm.
to leave their house after 5 p.m. for a good comedy show. And we
Mhm.
had people like who were on the David Letterman show, the Jimmy Kimmel show. It was a pro lineup.
Nice.
Every comic is available at 10:30 a.m. Some
The
were
show is at
hungover, but
10:30 a.m.
yeah. So everybody
Wow.
would always say yes. I always got pro comics. Only one did make it because that person was hungover. But seriously, they were so into it. The moms were happy, the dads were happy, the comics were happy. And like 45 minutes, the show was wrapped up. Babies were ready to nap. Parents had an adult break. It was,
Mhm.
and then pandemic hit and we just
Mm.
stopped.
You didn't continue on Zoom?
We continued on Zoom, but it didn't work as well because babies were crawling on the moms and then
Yeah.
they like go on Zoom. It was just too much.
Mhm.
They really needed hands-on Alyce to help take care of the baby, wait for the babies and feed mom's cookies. So
Oh.
for Zoom, it didn't work out. It just shows that like parents, especially new parents,
Mhm.
need hands-on help. Can't just like do
Yeah.
remote, like, okay, go.
Yeah. How are we how are we so different? I would never.
And me are so alike.
We are so alike, but
We're so
so
different.
different. I would never produce a bring your own baby show.
ever,
You know why?
ever.
I'm ahead because I think I felt like I suffered so much as a
Mm.
mom
Yeah.
that when I see a mom, I have empathy for them. And
Yeah.
I'm like that. I'll hold your hair back and take care of your newborn just so you can shower. Because I
Mm.
know that feeling. And I love moms. Like when I see a mom, like a
Yeah.
mom or a mom struggling with a baby, I'm like, let me help you. I'm like that creepy,
Oh,
you
you're
know.
that kind-hearted person. I'm more like I did it by myself. You do it.
We
I'll
go
do it my
so
damn
well
self.
together.
Yeah, but we go so salty and sweet is what I call us. I'm telling you,
Oh,
salted caramel,
oh.
salted chocolate. But no, I'm just like you could do it. But you know what? I think it's because also I grew up very like my parents probably neglected me a lot, so I was just like I can do
Oh, I
everything
got
myself.
neglected too.
You're the middle child.
Yeah, I got neglected probably more than you.
She's
Yeah.
the middle child. Oh, but you know what? You're doing so. Listen, we just came back from Seattle, and Alyce went to Seattle, headlined 3 shows, 2 in Seattle, 1 in Tacoma. And this was the week after her dad's funeral service, right? Because your dad's funeral service was on the 2nd,
It was 4.5 days after my
4.5 days.
yeah.
She went straight from the service, drove to Seattle.
I made my friend drive me.
She made her friend drive her to Seattle, and there was so much love for you. Like when I see you at a show, I'm always like, this is the power of social media and really being who you are authentically, like because who you are on social media is really who you are in real life. So when people come see you, they're like, oh, that's Momcom NYC. She's silly and she's warm and she's caring and nurturing. And that's just your vibe. So I was like, these people, like Alyce posts a flyer and like 60 people show up. I'm over
But
here.
I was like 25 million times. That's why.
No, but she posts and then the shows sell out and stuff. And I can always trust you to like bring your A game. And I trust you to be professional and be a businesswoman and all that stuff. And I'm just like, wow, that's the power of social media. Like as much as we want to knock social media because not everyone. And then I always say this about Alyce. You're funny on social media, but you're also a good stand-up because it's not always like that. It doesn't always translate. So tell us what you think the difference is between writing a sketch comedy joke and then a stand-up joke.
Oh, that's such a good question, Lynn. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you would understand this too, because you're funny on stage and off stage and
Mm-hmm.
on. Um, for stand up, I think you can't really rely on different characters, so you're not costume changing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a lot. Uh, you're not the physical humor you could add on stage, but rarely it's reliant on physical humor.
Mm.
I think you have to write efficiently and quick
Mm.
lines, no redundancy, get to the punchline. I do a lot of like misdirection. That's like my
Mm-hmm.
favorite. It's also about delivery. You have to have your own tone, figure out your brand. What is it? Is it like silly, goofy, loud?
Mm-hmm.
Is, like whatever, vulgar, and just who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's very dry and stoic,
Mm-hmm.
but also I will then get into some storytelling, and then I'll be a little ragey on stage because that's my outlet. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to always finish it with warmth because I have so much gratitude for the people who show up, and that's
Yeah.
really,
Mm-hmm.
with social media, there's so much editing. You're really hiding behind the camera, and you could really be someone else.
Yeah.
And I think the real me is really on stage. You probably see 50% of me on social media because I'm editing, I'm acting, I'm being my husband who really
Mm-hmm.
is way. And that's really like just kind of like shooting a short movie clip. And
Mm.
you're just writing out a scene. You're playing out a scene that you just endured, and you're making it funnier by exaggerating. So either physical humor, different angle shots, adding music will
Mm-hmm.
punch. You don't have all those things that will help punch up your joke on stage. You're alone, you're bare
Mm.
bones by yourself.
Yep.
So it's harder to be funny on stage. Uh,
Mm.
media is easy. Once you get that muscle working, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do this scene. Oh, the insights. People really like it when I act like my husband. I'm gonna do more of that. People,
Mm.
and then you do trends. Like it's so easy to find what resonates with people. You repeat that, you change up some lines, you change up your costume, but there's a lot of frills on social media that will help punch up something to make it funny.
You say it's so easy. Alice is like, well, now that I have 200,000 followers, it's so easy to
Well,
to just find the trend and do it, and
true.
everyone loves it.
You asked me last year, I was still figuring it out, but
Mm. Interesting.
now I see like this one got a lot because I fell on my face. People like physical humor. Okay, more falling, Alyce. And then and I've hurt myself just for laugh. Okay, like I sprained my hamstring, my
Committed. You're
back.
committed to the bit. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, people like it when I act like my husband,
Hmm.
but I found like people like it when I act more like a chump, you know?
Hmm.
Like more like useless. Like and it became not my husband anymore. I got
Right.
inspired by him the first reel. And
Hmm.
then I was like, people want more chump, like a
Yeah.
husband who doesn't know anything, that talks like this, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
People
Hoodie.
like
Yeah.
acting like my mom. And my mom's like, why do you make me look so crazy? I'm like, that's not you anymore. People
Yeah.
like acting like a crazy, exaggerated mom, because that translates better on social media. Everything has to be more
Mm.
exaggerated and more physical. Um, but yeah,
Wow.
after so many years, because I just repeat same things, people like it when I do gentle parenting versus 80s parenting. So I do,
Hmm.
once you see a pattern, you just copy it, repeat. It's like cut and paste.
But you found it though. You found it. Your people love you. You found it. Some of us are still waiting to find it. Alice has been trying to help me find it forever, and I'm still like, I don't know. You know,
I
for
I love your honesty though, like the way you articulate how to be a better comic.
hmm
And you have a lot of great insights, like what you wrote about your trip on in Seattle.
hmm
So humble,
mm,
honest. And I love that about you. And I think that's you. Like, don't try to be somebody else.
yeah,
And advice and in lend itself to any industry, not just for being a comic. And I
yeah.
think people love that about you. And on stage, you're like funny as heck. Like,
You know what happens though? Like people get confused because I do like to speak from the heart when it's serious, and then when I do make a joke, some people think it's serious because you know what I mean? Like the whiskey in a bottle. Like when I
don't get you.
I was like, these motherfuckers think that I put whiskey in my son's water bottle and sent him to school and then laughed about it on social media. Like,
Right.
what?
Yeah.
But okay, Alice, I want to ask you, what is the most challenging thing for you to be a mom and be successful? Finding success and being a mom. What's the most challenging?
I think finding carving out time just to focus on your craft. And for me, I love being physically like I have to fly out of the city,
Hmm.
be away from my kids, be in a hotel and focus on that craft. But
Mm,
right now, I was like telling my kid to do this and that while doing laundry. So I'm in the house. So my head is like household chores, keep the house running, get the
mm.
kids ready for this. And then I almost forgot our podcast. I remembered the whole week, but
Yeah.
then for that moment in time, I forget. So it's hard. It's hard to make that division because it's different for my husband who's like, okay, I'm working from 9 to 6 p.m. I'm locking myself in the office,
Hmm.
meetings, meetings. I forgot a meeting at 10:30 today.
You
Why?
did?
Yeah. I finished it and I was like, now I'm free. I'm gonna go grocery shop because my kids are gonna need frozen nuggets. I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
grocery on email. They're like, are we still on? I'm like, I forgot about that meeting.
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing motherhood together with my career. I
Mm,
don't have 9 to 5. Don't bother me. I don't have,
right.
and
Yeah.
that part is the hardest.
That's the most challenging. But you know what? What's important is that you have a supportive partner. You have a supportive husband.
Yes, when I
Hmm.
need to step in, like at nights when I do shows,
Yeah.
he will step in.
Yeah.
And that's true. Like, don't know how single parents do it. You are paying so much for caregivers,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
All money is going towards that. It's hard.
Well, you know what? Like as a single parent, I do bring Ethan to the green rooms and stuff. But I always tell when moms say, "Oh, I want to bring my son too or my kid," and I'm always like, "Don't do it. You think I do it because I want to do it? Like I
Yeah.
do it because I have to do it. If your husband can watch him, your in-law, or you can afford to pay a sitter, just do that because you want to focus like what you do. You want to go off and focus on your craft without also having to parent and worry about the kid in the green room when you're trying to plan a 20-minute set or whatever, you know? So,
Right. We had this conversation too where I was
mhm.
like, I'm out of Chicago, and I said, "Oh, you're bringing your kid, so I'm gonna bring my kid too." And
Yeah.
you're like,
Why?
"Oh, because it'll be fun. Like, your kid and my kid can be together." And then you're like, "But if you have a choice to leave your kid at home,
Yeah.
that so you can focus." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah. Because Alyce, you're a mom and you're a wife 24/7. So the moment you get to fly, like you said, and go and focus on you, do that. Yeah,
wow,
of course it'd be fun to have the kids there too, but it's your time, you know. You get that me time.
totally."
But you figure it out and you do it. And the biggest thing is that you take people with you. You're very loyal. Like Alyce would be like, let's book this and this person, that person. I'm like, why? 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 She's like, well, because they helped me out here and there and the other. I'm like, ugh, we'll give it 5 minutes.
Careful, then people will know who you're talking about.
But I'm saying, like, you're so considerate and so sweet like that, and I really appreciate you like letting me tag along to like all your shows and stuff and letting
Uh,
me produce stuff with you headlining. And it just because I'm telling you, it's hard to find people that you really gel with and can work with in this business
oh yeah.
that you can,
Self-
spend days with. Hmm.
Selfishly, Seattle was my way of just hanging out with you. I'm like, oh, she's out of Seattle, hang out with me, sure.
We're gonna hang out. Alyce was like, Lynn, I know this is a long shot, but will you come out to Seattle, do a guest spot? And I was like, yeah, I'll do 5 minutes. Like, there's no big I was like, you give me 5 minutes in Tacoma, I'm gonna go. Because this is what it is. Like a lot of people want to be good comics and successful, etc., but they won't do the bitch work. They don't want to do
Yeah,
it. Sometimes you just gotta come out of your own pocket and do it for the experience or for the exposure, whatever it is, because I'm still new, right? You
yeah.
gotta do it. And I feel
That-
like being a mom, you could probably, you know, um, testify or whatever the word is to this. But when you're a mom, it gives you even more motivation,
yeah. We
you
don't
know?
the opportunities are slim, right? Because you want to spend time with your kid. You want to be present for your kid. You can't be out every night. It's not just about not being there, but it also tires you out for the next day.
Yeah.
And it takes a toll on your body and your mind.
Hmm.
So it's hard. It's hard to be a mother and trying to be a stand-up comedian and to compete with this industry because there's like new comics always come out with no other responsibilities. They just have to get up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And and some do 3 to 4 shows a night. I can't do that. So a lot of my comedy has to be reliant on social media
Yeah.
because I can't go out every night. And
No.
it's a blessing that social media after the pandemic has really taken off and
Hmm.
people and especially parents, they rely on social media for entertainment now, which
And for
is
sanity,
for sanity, yes, relatable humor just to make themselves feel less
we're
lonely.
sanity because what you, I don't understand people who just expect moms to just be moms. Like,
So,
no, we need to have fun too. We have to live too. Like, what the hell? Like what you were saying in one of your posts, like we don't like martyrs. Don't do that. Don't sacrifice. Oh, I sacrificed so much for you. Don't do that. You got to take care of you. Happy mom equals happy kid.
definitely, I always remind my kids, I'm like, you want a happy mom.
Mm-hmm. Do you have mom guilt?
I do a lot. I think mom guilt is kind of built in, and it's I guess in a way it is a way for us to want to stay home with our kids
Mm.
so we can care for them. And dads don't have that because they're supposed to
Dad guilt.
go out
It's
and
no
hunt.
dad guilt.
Yeah, I don't think there is such a thing.
I
But
think, no, you know what? I guess dad guilt comes from if they don't provide, right?
yeah, they feel
Yeah.
like then they feel like losers
Hmm.
because they identify with their careers.
Yeah.
Mom guilt is a way, I guess, society pressures us to be home to nurture the kids. But I think if you're home, like if you're around your kids 60, 70% of the time, that's a lot.
It is.
They'll get
It
sick
is a
of
lot.
they want to hear what you do
Yeah.
outside of parenthood. They want to know what other things you're good at, what you're into.
Yeah.
I think it's great for kids to know that, oh, their mom is making money this way or following their passion or having goals and
Yeah.
outside.
Because we have boys. We're boy moms. So what's important to me is that my son is attracted to ambitious women because
And
psychology says that they're attracted to, you know,
moms.
people who resemble their moms, right? So I want him to be attracted to independent, ambitious women, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And I want them to like I really drill it in them like that women need to be respected. We have
Hmm.
so much that we can I was just talking openly about menopause because I was telling I was like, did you know I just had a conversation with these women and they're all telling me about what perimenopause is?
Hmm.
I was like, just when you thought you were done, got childbirth done, okay, you delivered a baby to this
Yo,
created life.
yo,
Oh, think you're done? No, then
nope.
menopause creeps up, you lose your hair, you get dry, you have bad, your hormones get ragey.
Yeah, your neck starts to sag, you shrink.
And yeah, and now you have to adjust to this new phase. And my husband's like, oh, that explains why the last 2 years you were ragey. I'm like, I've been ragey for like 15 years. Experimental.
Because why women go through menopause and then men, all that happens is their dick stops working. Like that's it.
Oh, their dicks will work
That's
too.
it. They
Oh,
don't have to go through hot flashes and
you know what?
nothing.
A pill for that. There's no pill for menopause.
No,
You
there is no pill for menopause. You're right. We
just
have
like,
to just we just have to like live with it. Here, you just gonna live with it.
here's your hot flashes. Your hair is falling out. Your eyes are dried. You can't wear mascara anymore. I'm sorry. Just live.
We have this is gonna suck. What does this mean, Joe? It says time left, 9 minutes left. Cool. That's enough time. We don't want to upgrade. Okay, but I want to keep. How do I get out of this? God, now I'm really a mom. How do I get out of this? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, there. Thank you. It's a Mickey Mouse hand. But anyway, as we were saying, men's dick just stop working and women just have to live with hot flashes and mood swings and dry vaginas and all of it. Like, and we get criticized for it, right? We get, oh, she's moody. Oh, her vagina's so dry. Oh, and you're like, the fuck? We got through so much. Anyways, I digress. But it's a new world and moms are fucking killing it. We're killing we're killing it.
We are totally killing it. Moms are funny. We have a lot of stories.
Mm-hmm.
We're we have we're also different.
Yeah. Are you the type of mom that goes to the PTA meetings and stuff and the bake sales and all that?
No, I'm not. I'm not organized like that. I don't wish to be.
Me neither.
I have a friend who's in the PTA, and that's good enough for me. Like, I'll do my part. I'll be like, "What do you need me to do?" I'll volunteer at like
Right.
off. I'll buy cookies for people. I'll
Mm-hmm.
volunteer, do a reading and stuff. But I can't be like those. I'm not a PTA mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me neither. I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. There's nothing wrong with it because
Oh,
we're just all built differently.
need PTA moms
We
and
need them.
are built like machines and they can do it. I'm like, that's your job. This is my job. That's your job.
What do you want to say to moms who are parenting right now and they're like, oh, I don't want to do what I love to do because I feel like I should just be a mom. I feel like I should take care of my kids first. And then when they're 18, I can follow my dreams. Like moms who want to break out and follow their dreams. What is your suggestion? What's your advice?
Yeah, don't think about tomorrow. Do it now. Do
Do
it
it
now.
now.
There's no, you don't know how precious and fragile life is. And
Mm,
you don't know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next.
yeah.
Don't put anything off. If it's for yourself and you want to do something, the hardest thing is to find something that you have passion for. If you already have that, you're halfway there. You
Mm-hmm.
just, so you tell someone to take care of your kids or give your kids iPad time, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait till tomorrow.
Don't wait.
Grab it. Just do it.
Even if you're afraid, even if
And
you're scared.
being scared is great because that means you care about doing it.
Mm,
And it's okay to be scared.
yeah, of
So many of times when we're on stage, we're scared, right, Lynn? Like we can go,
course.
we're always scared. We're always nervous because we want to do well,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what fuels you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you don't grab it now. You can't wait until you're 18. I mean, until you're 18, until your kids are,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Don't use the kids as a reason for you to not do something.
And if anything, your kids want to see their mom excited about something.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine yourself as a kid. Imagine what you saw when you were at home with your mom. Can you imagine if your mom was about to walk out the door because she was excited about something?
I
Wouldn't
know.
you be happy for her?
Right.
Do this because it's not just you will become a better partner and parent. So
Mm-hmm.
think, and you don't ever want to harbor resentment and be like, I stayed home for 18 years and
No. Ooh, I can't. I wouldn't even make 18 years. I'd be like, no, you know what? I mean, I'll just jump off a window, out of a window. But no, I was gonna say something. I totally forgot. I totally forgot. Just do it.
do
Just
it.
do it. Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Man,
life
it
is
slipped my.
fragile. Life is fragile. Don't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? It doesn't have to be a lot in one day. Just take a baby step. Take a baby step towards what you want to do.
I like that. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you wanted to write a book,
Mm-hmm.
join a reading group,
Mm-hmm.
small steps. And that's like what we did. Like
Yeah.
us, I think we did shows. No, we did like we watched shows first and
Mm-hmm.
takes and maybe did a minute here and there. We failed many times, but that's part of the journey. So
Mm-hmm.
start your journey.
Right. Just one small little thing. Because I know, I mean, unless, parenting has always been your dream, that's your goal, that's your success and happiness, and good for you. Yay.
I do both.
Mm-hmm.
Like think about when your children are gone or have left the nest, you're not parenting anymore really
Mm-hmm.
in that type of sense, right? You're still a parent, but
Right.
you're not having to stay home to parent anymore. So
Right.
where are you then at that point? Are
Ooh, I
you
can't
only
wait.
are?
I can't wait. I got how many more years? 12. No, 11. I got 11 more years
Yeah.
until I'm free
You're doing
from,
it. You're doing it. You've got
yeah,
your young kid and
yeah,
you did it, and it's amazing that you could do that. And I bet he's so happy. He's like the coolest kid, right? He's in the green room hanging out with
yeah. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Don't think that it's selfish. And even if it is quote unquote selfish, be a little selfish. Don't let
yeah,
anybody tell you that, oh, you can't be selfish as a mom. No, you can be a little selfish. You
yeah,
have to. You
yeah.
have to. You're no good to anybody being sad, or miserable, and
Exactly. And
just
it's like
do
the
it.
whole thing, oh, like, self-care is important, right? But
Hmm.
going to the spa, getting your nails done, exercising, and but those are not, but those are what you need to survive, to
Hmm.
thrive. Like who, like why can't we pamper ourselves, right? But this is
Right.
like this is part of it. This is, if you have a passion, that's who you are. You gotta grasp it. Like, you
Mhm.
can't do it for tomorrow.
You can't. And I understand it's hard. It's not easy for everyone to do it, but find a buddy, follow Alyce, DM her. She's kind. She'll talk you, she'll motivate you to follow your dreams, you know?
So many things can be done remotely,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
you tell me what you want to do. You want to start building a house. I don't know. You want to start writing a book. You
Right.
can start doing that online. You just
Right.
do it when the kids are in bed, and you
Hmm.
can find a group, a community. You can talk to people. You can have coffee meetings. You can remotely start projects. You can take classes.
Yeah. Right. You could take classes. You could self-publish a lot of things. You can do
Oh
a
my
lot of
God.
things yourself. Self-publish, self-produce. You
Yeah.
can moms can do anything, dude. Like what's harder than being a parent? Nothing. Nothing is harder than being a parent. So if you can parent, you're already like 90% there. Dude, it's so hard. So thank you for being on the podcast. I
Thank you
love you
for
so
having
much. I
fun.
love you so much. Oh yeah, that's right. We have 1 minute left. We're gonna be in Chicago when this comes out. We're gonna be in Chicago, not when this comes out, but February 2nd and 3rd. We're at Chicago. We're in Chicago. Get tickets in any
The Red
one of
Room
our
and the Lincoln
bios.
Lodge.
Yeah, at the Lincoln Lodge and at the Red Room. So y'all come out, come see Alyce Chan, MomCom NYC live in person, special event, only 2 nights. We're not in Chicago all the time. So we can't wait to see you. Come hug us, come take selfies. We appreciate the audience very, very much. There is no us without you. So
Maybe we'll have sweet and salty chocolates this time.
I know we'll be organized enough to get it in time.
I could probably travel with chocolates on the East Coast.
Or we'll just Amazon it over to, wherever our hotel. But please come. We love you. Thank you, Alyce.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Have a good day. Alyce Chan, everybody. MomCom NYC. Bye.
Hey, y'all. I know I look like shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear a peep from anybody. I know I also sound like shit. I've just been battling this cold for 5 days now. Aging is real. I'm now 44, and the cold doesn't just come and go like it used to when I was 14. All right. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I can't believe we're on episode 6 now. Episode 6. We have one of my very good friends, Alyce Chan, who I met on Zoom, and we've been doing a lot of shows together. We complement each other so well. I call her my the sweet to my salty. She's amazing. She's MomCom NYC on Instagram. We have a show coming up in Chicago, February 2nd and 3rd. So get your tickets for that. Be prepared to come see us. Slay the stage is what the kids are saying nowadays. And of course, Joe and I talk a little bit about some things too on the podcast. And obviously, I forgot what it was because I don't feel good. And that's why I'm not saying what the things are. But if you listen, you'll be surprised. Just like me. I'll be surprised. I love y'all so much. Thank you for spending time with me. And I promise you, the podcast is going to find its way and its legs. And we have some changes coming up in February. So keep listening. Thank you. I love you. Bye.